Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Mr. Vice President, why are you misleading during this coronavirus pandemic? By Ademola Bello. Your boss, President Muhammadu Buhari, was late in addressing the country, and he offered no hope to Nigeria's frontline workers, such as the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals who are risking their lives to save those that the government will provide them with all necessary personal protective equipment, PPI, and to increase their salaries. Dear Mr. Vice President, I hope this finds you well. It was reported in Nigerian newspaper on Friday that Nigeria recorded new coronavirus deaths and that 20 more people tested positive for coronavirus 19 in Nigeria. In this moment of a global pandemic that gripped the economy, you are nowhere to be found to reassure and comfort Nigerians by their daily dealings and briefings. Your silence during this pandemic is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of weakness on your part. You should be the person that coordinates the overseeing Nigerian government of affairs to contain, and to prevent the spread of the COVID-19. Unfortunately, you defer to someone else. Why is Secretary to the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Boss Mustapha, the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, the one talking about it? Why not you, Mr. Vice President? For example, Vice President Mike Pence is the one in charge of the White House Task Force on coronavirus in the United States of America. Mr. Vice President, why is it that Abba Kari and Boss Mustapha are more powerful than you in the government, taking decisions and making statements that, if it's not being made by the president, should be made by you? It is an hard personal attack on your enemies or the reality that you have beside line. Mr. Vice President, why are you misleading during this coronavirus pandemic? Your boss, President Muhammadu Buhari, was late in addressing the country, and he offered no hope to Nigerians and the frontline workers, those that work in frontline like our doctors, our nurses, and all healthcare professionals, and others who are risking their lives to make sure that the government and the people of Nigerians are safe. All the necessary personal protective equipment and to increase their salaries, you guys have not done. Similarly, your government offered no hope to Nigerians who income will affect as a result of staying at home. You should be championing the stimulus package for Nigerians to help them survive during this health and economic crisis. We look forward to hearing from you. On a separate note, please make sure that a commissioner in Kogi who has allegedly been reported of beating up his wife is fully investigated without covering up any of the facts. And please, let's look into the situation of the country. You should be the one talking to Nigerians, encouraging them daily, making sure that the country is being run while we cannot hear from the president in a time like this. Please, take up your duty post. Do the dear needful and make sure that you look after the country. As your boss does not want to speak, you should be the one championing the cause of the affairs of the country. Don't allow other people take away your responsibility. It's not the right thing to do. Well, this is a sincere advice. People stating the obvious, what they've been observing in Nigerian government. In other nations of the world, you see that if the president is not there, the vice president takes over affairs, and the vice president is leading from in front, making sure that things are going well. If you don't see the president, then you see the vice president. But in the case of Nigeria, it's very peculiar, you see. You know that the president has his own cabal, has his own people. And like we know, the president of the vice president of the country has seriously been sidelined. He's not been given the free hand and opportunity to do what he's supposed to do. Take, for instance, the government official duty that Mr. Abakari went for. That is supposed to be the vice president's duty to go and speak with regards to that. It's not the president chief of staff's assignment, but Nigeria, they have successfully, turned the right thing. They've twisted the hand of whoever is supposed to be there, which is the vice president, and they are doing things by themselves. And the vice president is just quietly looking at them. But this ought not to be. It should be the one addressing Nigerians daily, especially those at the front line. It's supposed to be talking to them and making sure that things are done decently and in order. Take, for instance, even the relief package. It should be championed from the presidency, making sure that and making Nigerians know that they have them at heart and they are looking forward, looking at things that will make the country better and are helping the people. It should not be done by who the president just nominates some people. Even if the president is going to nominate some people, they should sit together, have this discussion, and but from the president and the vice president, they decide, they look at it and they say, okay, this person should do it. That's what it should be, not not the other way around. Just the president delegating duties, even without the knowledge of the vice president. The vice president of Nigeria has been seriously sidelined. But Nigerians, we need to correct these things if it's called democracy. We need to make sure that the right thing and the right things are being done in Nigeria. Because what we are seeing now, there is something coming up, and we need to make sure that the Nigerian population do not allow this to continue. We need to allow, if we say if it's democracy, then let it be democracy. We can't hear from the president. We're not hearing from him. He was only coerced to speak to Nigerians after a while. And even speaking to Nigerians, there was no ray of hope in the words the president said to Nigerians. There was no ray of hope, not a single one. All he said was come to lock down the country. What about those who have their source of livelihood has been cut short as a result of these 2 weeks? How do they go? What do they do? Where do they go from here? So these are some of the questions in the lips of Nigerians that we need to wake up and ask ourselves. The vice president, we only see him, at this time with regards to what the president tells him to do. Is rather not functioning as he should. The vice president should be leading from in front and making sure that, for instance, the relief aid, they've only taken it to the north and they say that it has been spread across the country. That's not true. Stop misleading and stop misinforming and misjudging Nigerians. Let's stop this. You see, the money they said they were sharing, they've only given it to a particular set, the north in Nigeria. Only the north has received this money. Only the north, not others. No other part has received it. And even from the north, those that have received it, only God knows. Even from the north, those that have received it, only God knows. Only God knows if really, they've received the money indeed, or they just give it to some set. We know these things in Nigeria. They will go there, give it to some people, and tell you that, oh yeah, they've shared the money. Who are the people? Who are those that really got the money? Has the money got into any part in the south, southeast, southwest? No, it's only been in the north. Check your facts and figures and find out for yourself. The money has not been, it's not been shared. Nigerians have not felt the impact of the money. It's only been given to their people. That's why we are speaking, Mr. Vice President. Take your place. Speak up. Go to other nations of the world. Go and see Trump addressing the people every day. Even with that, he's still being criticized. So what are we going to say to our president, Muhammadu Buhari, who is not his style to speak to people, according to Femi Adesina? They just have this way of speaking when they should not be speaking. They just have this way of saying things that they should not say. They just have this way. Nigerians, this is the matter on ground, though. We need to make sure that our people are well looked after, and we don't allow the government with their wrong way and approach of things, destroy what we have in Nigeria. Anyway, Vice President, is an advice, so please wake up and take over, legislation and directives of things. Thanks very much, everyone, for listening. Please don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye.